So, welcome to yet another episode of the People, Passion, and Purpose podcast. This is a Women's Month series. That's a special series featuring women from different areas of life, and especially sort of enabling more and more women to share their stories in a way that it reaches more and more women, more and more people, inspiring more and more people along the process to just share stories that they've had as an experience. It doesn't need to be, I've accomplished X, Y, Z. So this is not a list of accomplishments that we'll get to, but just being ourselves, being our true authentic self. And everybody has stories that's worth listening to, worth sharing. So that's the idea behind this podcast. And I have Tanuja with me, who's a very close friend, a very dear friend. And I think we've been in touch maybe just a less than a year or approximately a year, counting to March. She's a wonderful personality, an amazing mom. I love the way she interacts with her kid. She's a fantastic poet. She writes in Kannada. She's from Mysore, if I remember right. So she has all the ingredients for a fantastic podcast for today. So welcome, Tanuja. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sunil. Thank you so much for a warm welcome. And I'm doing great. Hope you're doing good today.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, what do you think of this, conversation or the topic that women need to sort of share their stories, and that it doesn't need to be stories of accomplishment?
Yeah, actually, I went through some of your podcasts recently from past 1 week, and they are truly amazingly inspiring. I was actually amazed to listen to those podcasts because women have accomplished so many things, and we might have a seed in us, but when we listen to those conversations, that will sprout, and we aim to achieve or do more. So
Yeah, absolutely. And
those are very inspiring.
what better way to inspire others through our own experiences, because they're true, they're our own. So, and I'm sure you've had your own set of experiences. So before I really get into this podcast, usually this podcast is not started, is not ended with an starting of how was it growing up when you were in Mysore. So I'd like to start from there, and we'll get to all the other interesting topics.
Okay, sure. And thanks for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be with you here today on this podcast. So, to start with, do you want to listen about my childhood and go
Yeah,
further?
yeah, absolutely.
So, I was born and brought up in Mysore. Okay. And then I did my schooling and college both in Mysore. Uh, I was a pampered kid with my granny because I was born and brought up in my granny's place. My native is a village. Since I was a only child in my family, like the first child in my family, I have my grandparents didn't send wanted to send me to my native. So from 9 months baby, I was there with my granny. So I started my schooling. My school is Geeta Bharati School in Siddhartha Layout, Mysore. And from LKG to PU, I was in one school. So that is the basic for me. That is the what do you call basement for all my what I am today. I proudly say that I am a student of Geeta Bharati School. And after that, I joined NIE for my engineering, National Institute of Engineering, Mysore. And after my engineering in 2002, I came to Bangalore for my job. So that's how I'm in Bangalore today.
Amazing. So, how was it, being in a school from LKG to PO? So, you would have known all teachers would have known you. So, were you the mischievous kid? Were you the studious kid?
No, no, not a mischievous one. Definitely not a mischievous one. A very studious kid. So when I was in, I still remember my LKG, UKG days. Uh, People might think it's a cooked up story, but no. But I truly remember my LKG, UKG, first standard. I was very studious and I was very, very keen to learn English. So in my UKG or first standard, I don't remember, I was made the leader in the school, in the class, and I was asked to take care of the class and to see that there is no noise in the class. Okay, so my teacher had gone to the headmistress room. After she came, I said, "Ma'am, all of you are talking, ma'am." Okay. Then she said, "No, my child, all of them are talking." So she corrected those lines. I still remember how I learned English, how all my studies went on. And since I was very keen in learning the language, whatever it is, I had a very large passion for learning. So and I also wanted to give stage shows and all. So they were asking me to give the Independence Day speech, and I used to be there on the dais for all school days. So I had one teacher called Martin. What she used to say is, she used to make me practice Independence Day speech. And then she used to say, "Little bit stylish, Tanuja, little bit stylish." And she used to call all the teachers around and they used to listen to my speech and they used to enjoy. So that's how it went. I learned, and then it was every year I was there in all the co-curricular activities, but I'm not a sports person. I'm just a cultural person. So I used to be there in all the cultural activities every year. And then I had very, very, very beautiful teachers, which I cannot, whom I cannot forget. Even today, I'm in touch with them. And every Teacher's Day, I wish them. I call them and wish them. And when I get an opportunity, when I go to Mysore, I do try to visit them. So for my daughter's naming ceremony, I called my favorite teachers, and some of them were part of it. So that is how I have the bonding with my childhood. In our days, when you say teachers, it was, if we remember them only, you get immense respect. It's not like today. The punishment what we used to get was emotional punishment, not the physical ones. Okay. I had a headmistress by name Swarna Miss. I used to like her a lot, and she also used to like her a lot. So to give you an instance, actually in one of my maths tests, I'm little weak in maths. Okay. So weak in the sense I was not scoring 25 out of 25. I used to get 23, 23 and a half like that. Okay. So once I had not done well in the maths test. And every morning I used to wish her good morning and I used to give her flowers to show my love. One day, what she did when I said good morning and gave her flowers, she just took the flowers and went off. She did not wish me. Otherwise, she used to say, "Good morning, my child," and then she used to pamper me and then she used to put the flowers. That day, she just went off. I felt very, very bad. I was thinking, what happened? What happened? When the maths class came, I got to know that I had scored less. Then that hurted me a lot. And that is a very, very nice way of punishing kids, right? And I made it a point in the next test, I scored out of out. So it actually pricked me very badly. So these type of good memories I have. I did not have any stage fear till my seventh standard, but later I started developing it little because I little became conscious. So my teacher told me that think that whoever is in front of you doesn't know anything and they can't even come step on the dais and speak. Now you will get all the courage to talk to. That is how whenever I was stepping back or I was going low, my teachers used to encourage me, and I'm what I'm today because of they're also one of the reason, I can say.
No, that is very, very interesting. We have a very interesting concept in the coaching world around what we call this. So we call it a stroke, and a stroke that's given in a way that we 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 take it as a positive stroke, but intention is to sort of push us. So how we push our kids, how we push our own selves to make it this thing. So I heard how you have a passion for learning. So I also want to know what is how did this interest towards writing poetry and all, essentially start?
Okay, that is a big story again. Actually, as a kid, I always wanted to impress my dad. My only motto was, I want to get a good name from my dad, and he has to appreciate me. So one day, what happened in my native, there was a girl by name Jay Lakshmi, and she used to write poems. Okay, my dad was telling with one of his friends that she's a very nice girl. Jay Lakshmi is a very nice girl. She scores very high. She comes always has first rank, and she also writes poems. I was like, yeah, even I get first rank. Only thing which is missing is I don't write poems. Okay, then I thought, okay, what are poems? How to write poems? Let me just talk to her, because I was born and brought up in Mysore, in my granny's place. I used to go to my native, my own home, only during Dasara holidays and summer holidays. So one summer holiday, I took my aunt with me and went to that girl Jai Lakshmi's name, and I tried to home, and I tried to understand what are poems, how she wrote, and everything. I had a discussion with her. I saw it, and then I came home. Then I thought, okay, this is how the flow is. And then I was thinking what to write. And then, if you remember, we used to have Taranga those times, right? When I was a kid, I was in seventh standard. It was a summer holiday, and then there was a message in Taranga book, that magazine. They asked us to write a poem. What do you do if you get 1 crore rupees? Okay, that was my first poem. And at that time, this Harshad Mehta scandal was all going and all those things. And my biggest dream was to become a doctor. So I added all those things, and I told, uh, I will use this 1 crore rupees for so many things, out of which one was for my medical seat, and one was for this Harshad Mehta scandal, to resolve it. I don't know what it is as a kid, but I wrote all those things. I didn't show it to my dad. You know, at those times, in our childhood, neither the parents were expressing nor the children were expressing their love, right? I did not show it to anyone. I just kept it. And when I went back to school, my class teacher asked everyone, what did you guys do in your holidays? Then I said, I wrote a poem. She was like, what? And then she asked me to show it, and I showed the poem. She was very, very, very happy, and she asked me to recite it in front of the class. That was a big motivation for me. And she said, you have to start writing. Please don't stop it. And I used to write. That was my first poem, and I started writing. And whenever I write, I used to show it to my teachers. And I used to get a very good encouragement, and everyone used to appreciate me. And I used to get opportunities to read it in the prayer hall and all these things. So it was a very good motivation, and I started. Since I was in my granny's place, I did not have a lot of people to express my feelings. So these poems were a sort of tool for me to express my joy or sorrow when I felt alone. So if you asked me to write a poem, if you had given me some topic at that time and asked me to write a poem, I couldn't write. I used to write only when I become very happy or when I'm very low. So it started like that, and it continued from my seventh standard till
Wow.
today.
So Very, very interesting. So you ask somebody how a poem is written, then you learned it, and then you're able to start writing on that. That's in a way I think how actually poetry somehow works. So sometimes it just flows, sometimes you will have to ask, sometimes you'll have to find. And what's very clear for me over my experiences, it finds you. It finds you, and then
Yeah.
it flows, that expression flows through you, and rest as they say is history. So I have heard a very interesting story about how you published your first book. I think that deserves to be on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, even though I wrote a poem, I did not show it to my parents. I just kept it, and this journey continued only with my teachers knowing it. So I used to write it. I came to PU, and then my concentration went on in achieving the MBBS seat, but I did not get it. And then I chose to, I got BE seat, and I did my engineering in NIE, and then I came to Bangalore. And when I came to Bangalore, and again, that is a big story. My dad did not want me to go to any other place except Mysore because, right, those times they were all scared to send girls to other places. So I actually bluffed saying I have got a job and I came here, and my paternal aunt was here, my Sodrate was here. So I stayed in her house, and then I came here and started looking for a job, but I had told I've got a job. Okay. And then I was searching, and then I got a job. I got a apprentice training in HL, Bangalore. Uh, and then I joined HAL, and I started my career in 2003, April in HAL. And I was an MSD department of helicopter division. And it was going on. And I used to get some free time, I used to write poems. And my colleagues over there, all I was the youngest in the department, and all were elders. They used to ask me, "What are you writing?" I said, "I'm writing poems." They were like, "Wow, what a amazing skill you have! It's a very beautiful talent," and everybody used to appreciate. And now the second round of encouragement I got, which I cannot express how happy I felt. And then once what happened, there for Kannada Rajyotsava, they do a very beautiful program in HL. And they had invited an anchor from Udaya TV to anchor a program. And one of my colleague, Shivu sir, was the male anchor. So they were preparing for this Adarsha Dampatigalu. Okay. And then I was seeing that, but I love anchoring. Okay. And then that was there in my mind, but I cannot face such a big audience. And then I just kept quiet. Everything, whatever was happening around, I was feeling very happy. And finally, we got to know that Udaya TV anchor, female anchor, had dropped off due to some reason. So my senior, sir, he came to me and said, "Tanuja, you can anchor, you do it." I was like, "Sir, what are you saying?" No, you can do it. I'm there with you. You will be the female anchor with me. I was like, no, sir, please, I can't do it. He said, no, you have the potential. I'll be there. You do it. So I anchored a program in ADA Rangamandira for Adarsha Dampatigalu, best couples. And then it came out. I don't know how I got the courage. It came out very well, and everybody started. I was a contractor, by the way, at that time, and permanent employees were feeling, why the chance for a contractor? At the same time, they couldn't stop appreciating. So everybody came. And one more thing is, before I took up this, some people came to me and said, "Tanuja, please don't do it, because it's a very big program, and if it doesn't come out well, you will be pinpointed. Please don't take it up." I said, "No, let's see what happened," and I took it up. So when everything went well, everybody came to me and started saying it went on so well. It's so nice. It's so nice. It was so nice. I was very happy, and people started recognizing me. And whenever they used to come to our department, ours was a core department, so they used to come for one or the other reason. Uh, our department members, they used to say, you know what, our Tanuja, she writes poems. Everybody started telling that, and then one fine day, Shivu sir came to me and said, why don't you publish the book? And one other colleague of mine, Manjunath, he came to me and said, Tanuja, you should publish your book. I said, publishing my book? No, no, I'm written only when I'm happy and sorrow. When I'm sad, I cannot publish this. It is nowhere that publishable. Then he said, no, no, I've seen many books. They're not even up to the mark. You have such a good substance in your poems. Why don't you publish? Then I said, no, I'm getting only 1,700 rupees was my salary, first salary. So with this money, I cannot even go to Mysore properly. So I will not be able to publish. Then he said, then he spoke to Shivu sir, who is the senior, and he said, we are going to publish your book. And we used to have this Kannada Sangha meetings. I used to go there. And he said, he announced in the meeting saying that we have to encourage this talent and we have to sponsor her book. She has many poems written, let her publish. And immediately he took 1,000 rupees and said, this is my contribution. It was a first contribution. And everybody said, we are there with you, we are there with you. And everybody came to me offering money. And then I think only 500 rupees went from my pocket in the year 2005 or 6, I don't remember properly. 2005. Okay. And the whole money which was needed for publishing the book was from the pockets of the employees of HAL. I still remember that moment. And that's why I love Bangalore more than Mysore. Mysore is in my heart, but Bangalore, I love it because I found my life, I found my passion. I found my land here. I could realize all my dreams over here. So then we actually one other person in HAL only. He was a writer by name Nam Nagbhushan. He helped me to. He corrected my poems and he drafted the cover page of my book and he helped me a lot. And one other sir, Vijay Kumar sir, he took me to Kannada Sahitya Parishad. He introduced me over there. He used to get me very beautiful opportunities of reciting my poem in Kannada Sahitya Parishad too. And then I used to recite the poems and uh, everything happened. And one fine day, in 2005 Kannada Rajyotsava function, HL function, I published and Nemi Chandra, the writer, she actually inaugurated my book. And that is when my dad got to know that I write poems.
Oh.
Till then, he did not know that I write poems.
It would have been a very, very interesting surprise to him saying, hey, look, look, look here,
Yeah.
he has written a book. Mm.
And that day, I wanted my poem, which I have written for my dad, to be the first one. And I dedicated that book to my granny, who had brought me up from my childhood with a lot of trust in me. And my first poem was for my dad. And my dream was to read that poem in front of him on the dais. And that came true.
Wow. So dreams do come true and parents get to know about children's dreams
Yeah.
once they've come true.
When I said I'm publishing my book, so you have to come to Bangalore on this day, he was like, "What? What are you saying?" Then only he realized that it is one of my hobbies.
I can absolutely understand. And thanks to all those, HL employees, also on behalf of the entire writing community, because, sometimes the right recognition and the right nudge is what authors and, say, writers need. So, like I think you would have thanked them enough, but then I also
Yeah,
would
from the bottom of my heart, I thank them. You don't believe, Sunil, after that function, everybody started telling me, came to me and said, why didn't you take my sponsorship? They're fighting to sponsor my book. Do you
have.
believe?
That is just fantastic.
And the name of my book is Bhava Sambrama.
Wow. So all your bhavaniyas are put, all your feelings and thoughts are put into a book.
Yes. So even today, HAL, I cannot forget in my life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. After having those amazing experiences, I think they'll continue to stay. So I think one other question I wanted to ask as part of today's conversation was generally across the Women's Month has been what's your experience with kindness? I think my answer to that question is already there with um, whatever has happened with HL. Anything else that you want to add as something around, like your experience with kindness where it's been you've been the recipient, you've been the giver, you've seen somebody share kindness.
Yeah. Fortunately, whoever I've met in my life, uh, they're very kind to me. I don't know why, but uh, to tell you, in fact, when I was coming from Mysore to Bangalore, everybody scared me saying that Bangalore is not a nice place. You cannot believe people. It is not like Mysore. It's a big ocean and you cannot even trust people. You have to be very, very careful. Please be careful. I got tons and tons of advices to be very careful in Bangalore. Okay, but when I came here, Bangalore welcomed me with lots of love, and whoever I have met have been a stepping stone for my success. I did not see any hindrance, anybody pulling me back in my uh, career or literature or wherever. So it's, I mean, whoever I have met, one of my friends says, how come you get all nice people even in office? Wherever I go, I usually meet nice people and they're all very encouraging. To give you an example, in the professional front as well, I joined my current company, Accolade Digital, after after 3.5 years of career break. Mine was a precious pregnancy, so I had to take a break. And after 3 years of break, I got into my this job, current job. And once at 7:30, my director called me and said, Tanuja, we have to send the estimation for one of the projects. I know it is 7:30 in the night, but please work on it and let me know. I said, I can work on it, but I can do it after 10:30 because my daughter sleeps. At that time, she was just 2.5 years. She sleeps around 10. After that, I'll work on it. He said, okay. And then I made her sleep and I opened my laptop at 10 or something. And then I said, Gaurav, I've started working on it. He said, no, that's okay. I've taken care. I have estimated it. Just have a look and let me know if it is fine. You take care of your baby. And in every meetings, my unavailability was from 8:30 to 10:30 because I had to make her eat and put her to bed and all those things, and then I have to go. So whoever client was looking for me, whichever client was looking for me, or if other uh, managers or directors, if team members were looking for me, he used to tell that she's putting her baby to bed. She'll be available after this time. So he used to stand beside me uh, in those times. He's so encouraging and understanding. Uh, the same thing, same kind of people I've got throughout in my life. who are very encouraging. So I feel blessed for this. So this is the kindness, or this is the support or empowerment we all women expect in the companies. So people should be understanding. That makes women to be more confident at the workplace.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, any support that's given, I think somewhere you're also inspired to give it 10x back, 100x back. Once you're like back from whatever is not allowing you to come to the office or come to there and give your 100%. And I've seen a lot of people come back to good managers and good people, and give their 100%, do it for a bigger purpose, do it for a bigger team, and do it also as a means of paying it forward. So once
Yeah.
you received something, I think somewhere our hearts will want to give back.
Yes, I do it in many forms. Actually, when I'm interacting with my team, my style of leadership is an empathetical leadership. When you lead your team, when you guide your team with empathy, the amount of work you get is huge. I do not micromanage. I understand my team. I understand in what phase of life they are in. Based on that, I would give the work to them. See, life is like full of give and take, okay? How much ever support you give, the same support you will get back. So
Absolutely.
since I understand my team members and then I give them space in their work life, in their life, I will not be like whatever situation you are, you have to complete and go. No, I will say if you have any problems, please talk to me. We will figure it out, and I will make sure we figure it out. So because of that, even if I ask my team member, if I call my team member at 12 o'clock in the night, I get the same support. They will be on their toes to do anything for me. The same support I give. And when it comes back to giving back to the women, I have encouraged and assisted many women to get back to their work after their career break, because I got a lot of support in the form of jobs for her, which is a platform which encourages women to get back to their workforce after a career break. So whatever support I got, I have given it to many women, and I encourage them to get back to the workforce with what all support they need. I have mentored people. I have mentored freshers. Even in my office, I have mentored freshers. And I don't know from where they will get. Uh, we have offices in different locations, but people reach out to me saying that I heard that you give good suggestions and advices. Can you please help me solve this problem? So I mentor in my office, I mentor in my neighborhood, I mentor with my families, friends, whoever it is. And even today, I get calls from Mysore, from my neighbor's neighbor also, to get some suggestions on how to go ahead and the career, what are the options, what we can do, all those things. So that is how I'm trying to give it forward,
Mhm.
pay it forward.
Absolutely. Amazing that you are enabling more and more people in their journeys, in their life journeys. And also, I heard something very interesting, jobs for her. Would you like to share a little bit to whoever is listening?
Yes. Actually, I took a break in the year 2015, and that was my first month of pregnancy. And I joined back only in 2018. So it was 3.5 years of break. I did not know what happens after a break. Should I take a break or not? Um, 1 month of sleepless nights, thinking what to do and discussing with my family members, my husband. And then finally, I took the decision I should take a break, because it was high time I wanted to have a baby. And then I took a break, but I didn't know what after that. It was just a blank break. and my daughter was born. And since I was not there with my parents from childhood, I thought I should be there with my daughter at least for 1 year, properly with her for 1 year, and then only I should start working. And then after it was 1.5 years after she born, and then I thought, okay, now it's high time I have to start looking out. But then the world had moved on, and everyone was asking for automation testing. I'm in testing, and my expertise was only manual testing, and the world had moved on, and it was all automation testing. And a lot of things had changed, and we had bought a new house, new baby, and no job. And it was not possible for me to afford for lot of costly courses, and so it was a very big challenge for me to get back to workforce. One day when I was browsing, I came across this jobs for her, and I got to know that this is a platform to um, who enable women to get back to workforce. They were less than a year company when I started looking out, and then I just registered over there, and then I started getting invites for the webinars what they were um, conducting, and they were all free webinars. That's the good thing, because when you're in break, I don't think most of the people can afford that to women. um, so there might be many reasons for taking a break. So but this platform enabled me to not to land in a job, but get the confidence back, which I had lost in the uh, gap in my career break. I had not lost confidence in what I had done, because experience will not go anywhere. It was all there. But I didn't know how the world has moved on, how I should cope up to the later stages of this world, and how to get that confidence. I did not, I was lacking. And sorry. Thanks a ton to Jobs for Her for enabling me, supporting me to get back to the workforce. Uh, the webinars were like how to get back to workforce, how to build your confidence, what you should do to get back to the workforce. I will tell you one simple thing which was a takeaway in their conference. Restart her, or something was happening then. Now it is accelerate her. I attended that conference, and what they said is, um, we women hesitate to ask for help. We don't have support. We will not, even my case was the same. I did not have in-laws with me to take care of my baby, nor my parents had come here. We were only two, and she was there on my lap, and I had to study for the interviews. It was so difficult. If I switch on my laptop, she used to pluck the keys in the keyboard. So it was very difficult. But we don't know what to do. We do only know the problem. We don't know what to do. So the one small line which was a big takeaway is, don't hesitate to ask for help. It can be your husband, your in-laws, your neighbors for that matter. You can tell them, can you please take care of my child for an hour? I'm going for an interview. That is a simple thing which we also know, but when it comes from an experienced people panel in the um, uh, panel of members who are successful, it carries a lot more weightage. Then you feel, oh, I can ask for help. That is nothing wrong. So all these minor assurances and support, moral support I got is enormous. We used to get webinars on what all topics. I can name, you name anything, we used to get the webinar on those. So it helped me gather all my courage and prepare for the interviews and get back to workforce. So a huge thanks to Job for Her.
Wow. And they continue to, make those make the impact for people, more and more people.
Yes, I am an ambassador in a Job for Her then and now, and I actually tell people who are on break, I usually use Quick Ride for my commute to office. So whenever we have conversations and they say their wives are, whoever is offering ride, wives are on career break, immediately I say, ask them to register for jobs for her. So,
Yes.
so I have made, I mean, directly, indirectly, whatever form, I've enabled and ensured that I give a hand for people who are on career break.
Absolutely. And you said offline that you want to sort of talk more about reintegration into into a workforce.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? What was your experience in terms of reintegration? So you had the interview, you've cracked the interview, you're at an office coming back after 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah. Um, Actually, the message I want to give from this conversation today is women or men, for that matter, please don't hesitate to take a break because break is needed and break rejuvenates you. And you can bounce back really good after a break, but don't do as I did. I did not plan my break. So please don't take unplanned break. Plan your break and take a break. Break is much needed. Okay. When
Yeah.
you're planning, plan what are you going to do in the break, how you're spending your time. You might be taking a break for your child, your elderly care, or for your own health problems because you're relocating with your spouse, whatever it is for that matter. How, what do you do for yourself in that career break is what you have to plan very consciously. I'm not saying you take a break and sit and study the entire 24 hours, but how you want to manage your break, what you want to. Some people, what I've heard is they've reinvented themselves in the break.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so that is the place, that is the time where you get enlightened, when where you bounce back with a lot of confidence. I'm a true live example. I'll tell you about that as well. So please take a break. Don't hesitate to take a break when it is needed, but please plan your break. And what I would say is, please don't shut off yourself from the world when you take a break and concentrate on only one thing for which you have taken a break. Please be open and see what is happening around you. Listen to podcast, I mean, watch YouTube videos, understand, go and attend the meetups, talk to people, have lot of networking, keep your networks alive, talk to your friends, ask for help, do what rejuvenates you, enjoy what actually you enjoy. It can be as little as watching the clouds outside in your free time, sitting beside a lake and watching the water ripple, whatever it is, just watching the full moon for half an hour, whatever it is, do whatever you like, take time for yourself, rejuvenate, and bounce back with confidence. That is what I want to give a message today. And I will tell you how I overcame this break actually. With a lot of this webinars and conferences and meetups I used to attend and talk to people, and I understood how they used to what are their problems. I used to tell my problems. We used to exchange thoughts and all those things. And then actually, networking is the key when you're on the break. Okay, keep your networks alive. And then when you're attending interviews, please give 100% to your preparation. Plan when you want to come back to work, what time is your break, and when you want to come back to your work. More or less, I'm not saying you'll be on that particular day and date, but here and there you will definitely achieve whatever you want to. So what I did is I started learning with all the free resources on the internet. Now this era is full of data, full of knowledge around you. So you can utilize that and learn a lot. And what I did is I went through all the courses which are there on the net. And one more important thing I did was volunteering. You don't believe volunteering has an amazing effect and benefit on you and for the person who is for whom you're volunteering. Okay, since I did not have automation knowledge, I was thinking what to do, how to learn, and all those things. Suddenly, I got a uh, message on LinkedIn asking if you can do any content creation. Okay, and I started writing content for automation tools. I did not know what is that tool. I had to learn and write the content for those tools. Okay, and that way I learned many tools, even though not hands-on, but I knew what tool does what.
What? Yeah.
Okay, and uh, I was very skeptical to ask that person for money. Okay, I did not ask him what is going to pay. I was very happy that I got some work, so I was just doing it. Even he did not open his mouth and say I'm going to pay you. I did not ask him how much you're paying. I just did for my learning and all. So finally he guided me how to attack the interviews and automation tools, how to learn. And he gave me a lot of confidence, and he gave me some uh, support and encouragement to get a certification in automation. So he gave his points for me to take automation certification. That is the form of his gratitude. And I got that certification, and that added to my resume. And that was one of the biggest reason for me to land in a job. So what I would suggest is please volunteer. It is a very beautiful thing to do. It cannot be, I mean, it cannot be tangible benefits what you're going to get. It cannot be, it may not be monetary, but the feeling of satisfaction, the experience, the learnings is priceless what you get. So no task, no deed, no experience is a waste. Every minute adds up to your success. So please volunteer.
Wow. I think volunteering is a definite plus in terms of, you even increasing your network, even branching out, trying out new things. Also, a plugin is sometimes we have a lot of data. Like right now, data, uh, there's no dearth of data. But I think also pretty much required that possibly you have a mentor with you or a coach with you alongside the journey whenever you decide to come back, because there are a lot of things that a mentor and a coach can enable for your own self. Like you're finding your answers for your own self, but having a mentor or having a coach definitely adds to your investment in the self. Maybe if you
Exactly.
have some, say, financial resources, invest properly so that सबका घर जल जाए, not जल जाए, but everybody's house runs on money. So look at also investing on yourself. I think that's the point that I want to sort
Yeah,
of.
actually, I forgot about mentioning about mentors. Definitely, I would say have role models for different things in different phases of life, and mentors are very important. If you ask me, during my break, I had Neeraja Ganesh, uh, to whom I used to look up to and call her and say, "This is my problem, ma'am. What can I do?" It is not a formal mentoring, but I knew that she's there for me whenever I needed. I used to just call and ask, what can I do? What the situation is? Because I had seen her journey, and I used to get the problem solved. So you please identify your mentors and work with them. That will lead up to
Oh,
your success.
nice. So very lucky to have Neerja as the mentor. I've met Neerja. Neerja has also been on the podcast. a very, very good friend of mine as well. So yeah, good. It's fantastic that, like sometimes the mentors find you and then the right
Yeah,
mentor at the right time.
it was not a formal mentoring as such, but she was there for me whenever I needed. It was like not proposing, uh, you're my mentor, I'm your mentee, but having a informal mentorship.
I think that it doesn't need to be formal, right? So you
Yeah.
you you need to have somebody who you can trust to sort of open up
Yes.
saying, "Hey, I don't think this is working. I need support." Like you brought back that space of saying, it's okay to ask for help.
Ha.
For any mentor-mentee relationship or any support relationship to work, there should be that space of openness. There should be the space of trust. And it doesn't need to be like, okay, you're my mentor. It's been formally
Mm.
defined and signed somewhere. Uh,
Yeah.
I think more formality that comes into it, the difficult it gets.
Exactly.
So it becomes easy. So maybe possibly switching off one sector into getting into another. Possibly one of the last few questions for this podcast is, what do you do to unwind? I know poetry is one of your favorite ones, and you're
Exactly.
near a lake, so I know some of the standard answers.
Actually, one of my favorite things to do after a busy day of work is to watch clouds. I just
Hmm.
go out, stand in my balcony, and start watching the clouds. The shape and form they are, the way they are slowly moving, that lifts me up actually. That lights me up. And I love nature. I love greenery. And I have a lake beside my house. So sunset is my favorite. So whenever I see sunset, there is a positivity in that. Even though it is setting, it gives a message that even though the day is ending, you have a new bright light coming up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the beauty of sun setting is even when it is a low, enjoy the beauty of it. So my theory of life or my motto in life is take all obstacles as an opportunity and do whatever you want to. Consider all the obstacles as an opportunity.
Absolutely. So I think you also answered my next question. So what would be your advice for people? So you've given that as well. Maybe one last question before we close is, what's one advice that you would give to a 20-year-old Tanuja?
20-year-old Tanuja, uh, actually, I don't have any regrets in my life because I have done whatever I want to do to the fullest, to the maximum. Only thing I have not done is concentrating on my health and concentrating on the beauty or things like that. So please concentrate on your health, exercise, and yoga, meditation. Those things are very, very important. And what suggestion I used to, I want to, this I have done myself. So it's not a advice, but mm, which has to be like, what are the good things you did if you ask me? I have role models for different aspects of life. Professional, you have a different role model. Personal, you have different role model. If you take some sports, you have a different role model whom you can reach out and talk to whenever you want to. So from your engage, start having role models and try to, if not follow them, like take suggestions and look up to them and make them part of your success journey is what I would say. But what if you ask me what I tell my 20-year-old Tanuja, concentrate on your health and do a lot of exercise. And that
I
is one
think,
thing.
yeah, health is wealth, and it's not said lightly. So
Mm.
absolutely. So, Tanuja, I think I've had a fantastic time in terms of listening to all your stories, right from Mysuru school to jobs for her, mentoring, writing, HL, Nirja. So many topics I think we've sort of touched upon. And I'm sure there's a lot more stories with you and But I am sure that this small snippet of your life that we've had in the last 1 hour can inspire, can trigger somebody with some other thoughts, and things will move for them. And I'm also sort of assuming that if somebody needs help, they can always reach out to you and have a conversation with you. So
Exactly.
thank you for your time today, and yeah, so wish you luck in whatever happens.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And I did not realize it's 1 hour now. Right.
So all thanks to the podcaster. So
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot to you. It was a very nice time talking to you, Sunil. And I didn't know that we speak so much.
so there's always another podcast sometime in the waiting. So we'll do that sometime soon. I'd be happy to, like take focus on only the poetry side of yours, and we could do a few renditions, talk about it,
Yeah,
and deep dive. So yeah,
sure. Yeah.
cool then.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.